This is better. Much better.
Is it?
I can't remember what that was from.
I don't know what that was
know.
from. You start.
Oh, boy. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, everybody.
That was weak.
Oh, my God.
Do it again.
Doing it again. Doing it live.
I need energy.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Project Airwaves. This is Lynn.
This is D.
And I am here.
I'm not.
We are here.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
We coming at you again today. Yes, I said coming at you. We're just gonna have a lax episode. We're gonna keep it short, brief, cover a few stuff, and then we're gonna actually go into our workout for the end.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess that's true.
Yeah, for the end.
After this.
After like the dessert.
Yes,
we're gonna give you an appetizer.
So this is the appetizer.
Your main entree.
Well, is the main entree in this, or is it going to be in our live?
I mean, technically,
episode
but
that we're doing
let's not
today?
jump the gun.
Okay,
let's not jump the gun.
And we'll stick to the basics.
Okay, let's do this. All right, so our first fucking topic of the day.
Super Bowl. We know everybody watched it. I watched it. He watched it.
The Buccaneers.
Tom Brady is a fucking tank.
I think all of the Chiefs drank laxatives before they played because that was garbage.
It was total shit.
How do you throw the dude? Okay, I'm bad with names, so don't get mad at me. But the dude from the Chiefs threw the fucking ball. It bounced off the dude's mask and into the Buccaneers' hands.
Just so you guys know, D does not watch sports.
I don't watch
let alone
sports.
Football, but
okay, I don't watch sports. Okay, you could tell me football and polo were the same thing, I'd believe you. It's called water polo. Look, I just made that up on the fly.
To give out the information, since I am a sports fanatic, Patrick Mahomes, he is the quarterback for the Chiefs. He was having a very, very, very rough game.
Didn't he have a messed up foot?
I don't know about his injury. I just know that he was having a lot of issues because, I mean, from what I saw and what we were watching yesterday, every fucking play, the Buccaneers defense would literally just smash through. And you would see Patrick Mahomes have to run away from them.
Yeah, he was running. I'm like, where's the defense?
There's no defense. He would run away, bomb the ball, and then his receivers wouldn't catch a single fucking thing.
They would just look at him like,
you could see the defeat in his face, like,
Yeah, he was just like, fuck it.
Yeah, like it was just such
what was it? It was like one of the last plays of the night when he got sacked. Mm-hmm. It was like the second time he got sacked.
It was a three-man stack.
Three of them.
Three guys fused into one and literally sandwiched him in half to make the scorpion symbol. Oh, when Bobby Boucher,
yeah, and he did like a 360
one hit him from the top and one hit him from below.
Fuck, man.
So Patrick Mahomes got fucked up.
He got wrecked.
Tom Brady and Gronk, which Gronk is. They're pretty much Tom Brady's all-star.
Gronk is amazing.
He's a massive. He's
just there.
Yeah, he's Tom Brady's like all-star receiver. Pretty much.
He was just there. Like
Gronk is a
Brady threw the ball,
fucking
he was like,
tank.
wow.
I'm surprised he didn't get the MVP for the night, just because of all the plays. He literally scored 2 to 3 of the touchdowns on his own.
Honestly, after like the second quarter. Pretty much after the halftime show, I think Buccaneers knew
it was already done at that point, And I was watching with my dad and my uncle. My uncle's like, "Oh, the Chiefs have a chance; they might get back." He's like, "No, because the weekend isn't going to give them the hype. The weekend and all his shenanigans in the halftime show is not going to give them the hype."
I'm sorry, that wasn't a good halftime show, folks. We could have done better.
It was with the bare minimum. I mean, same thing with the commercials. The commercials were just
like Glenn said. That he was probably the only one they could get to show. Mm-hmm. Nothing against The Weeknd. I love The Weeknd. I like a lot of his songs.
I mean, he did good.
He has a Michael Jackson vibe, but he's not a hype man.
No.
He doesn't have that music like when we had Beyonce, Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson, Katy Perry.
Oh, isn't that who did it last year? It was Janet Jackson and Shakira?
Was it?
It was Janet Jackson and Shakira.
Like, their music, it gets you hype or you can have fun with it. With The Weeknd, it felt like they were catering to more female-oriented audience.
I'm not sure. I know that it was all over the place. But, the game, at the end of the day, Buccaneers won 31-9. Brady's got a seventh Super Bowl ring.
It was a blowout.
Seventh Super Bowl ring. And my dad was telling me which was the standards. The chances of a Super Bowl game, a team being able to play at home is like a 5% chance. Mm-hmm. The Buccaneers got to play in their home state or their hometown, which never happens. It's rare. They already pick the location of the Super Bowl when everything starts, when the season starts.
Yeah. And
then the players play all the way through, and then whatever two teams make it, that's where they're going to play. Is where they pick in the beginning. It was already picked to be in Tampa Bay, and then the Buccaneers just happened to make it to the end.
Spoilers.
Yeah, so it was good.
It was what it was. But I mean, if you asked me to compare it, I would have compared it to a UFC fight. How you're only a few seconds into the match and boom, it's over. This was just drawn out.
Speaking of a UFC fight, I don't know if anybody ever caught this one. For my UFC fans, they had a free fight night card the night before. Alexander Volkov versus Alistair Overeem. That fight was dog shit.
How bad was it?
Overeem is known for fighting. I think he's got like 49-13. So he's literally already on just wins alone. He's fought 50 human beings and won 50, but then lost 13 times. He's been fighting since, I don't know if you know what Pride is. Pride used to be the UFC fights back in the old days that you could watch on Spike TV. Where like the UFC's there's rules. If someone's down on the ground, you can't knee them, you can't kick them, you can only punch them. Pride, if someone's down on the ground, you can literally stomp. You can stomp on their skull, kind of shit. So
I vaguely remember that.
It used to come up on Spike TV all the time when that was a thing. So Pride, it just the main card was kind of whatever. You could tell Overeem wasn't in it. Volkov just beat the shit out of him, but Volkov is also 6'7", well over 200 plus pounds with a reach of like 80. Was it 80 inches? Which is like
he a big one.
He could fold his arm in half, and that would be my normal arm length.
He sound well. Lynn showed me a video.
So I showed you the video of one of the fights before, which was Frankie Edgar. Oh my god! You have to look into, for people that do or don't watch this sport. If you look into Frankie Edgar's getting knocked out, it's the second worst flying knee knockout in the history of UFC because he got knocked out in 28 seconds. And this guy literally, it wasn't even that much of a run. It
looked fake.
It literally, watching it on TV, you saw Frankie Edgar take the knee to the face.
Yeah.
And then he just
went.
He blacked out, like got stuck.
Yeah.
Frozen and then crashed.
He went rigor mortis.
Yeah, rigor mortis and crashed in the ground and he was unconscious.
But
for like
it did.
5
It
minutes.
looked so soft when Lynn showed it to me. I was like, wait, he didn't do anything because it sounded like someone just slapped the hands. Like that was it. And then dude's just gone.
Yep.
And then he showed it to me again. I was like, oh, he got the shit kneed out of him. Wow.
Yeah, that was that was an interesting fight. It was fun. It was something to watch, but that's pretty much.
All I gotta say is don't come around me ever. Anytime Lynn's like, oh, do you want to? If it's not on TV, I'm not going anywhere near UFC ring, match, person, not even a spectator. These fuckers are deadly. There is no way you could pay me money to get the shit kneed out of me just so I can black out.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, they make good money
to
an extent. Honestly, it's not that much.
Imagine all the surgeries and injuries.
It's
irreparable
it's the reason why
damage.
fighters, but it's no different than playing any sport. Think about
True.
football players.
Football, they spend half of their income on surgeries and recovery alone.
Exactly. So your body takes a toll when it comes to doing these kind of sports over time. But yeah, so that was it. Just covering over what this weekend was. It wasn't really anything too big.
Yeah, nothing to brag about.
Work kind of just strumrolled. It was super slow, and then out of freaking nowhere, it turned into a clusterfuck on Sunday.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Just because of the Super Bowl, everybody wanted to start betting money, so you had a lot of these fights and random bullshit where people would want to throw temper tantrums because they couldn't place bets. People would come in, park their car like in West Valley, just to leave it there to run inside to place bets in the race and sports book. So it was
one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm glad we still had the Super Bowl, and there were people there, which I was surprised.
It needed to happen, and that's what I noticed with anything is like my job was actually able, for the first time this year and last year, they offered overtime. Yeah, actual shift overtime where hey, you can come in and work and make money. Because the other thing they had playing in there was because now that the Michael Jackson show's out, Cirque stopped paying for it. They couldn't afford it. It was just an open spot. So because MJ's out, they used it to do recordings for Paw Patrol. Yeah,
the kids cartoon.
The kids cartoon. When I saw the overtime, I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? But I guess it's just they're just doing recordings. It's not actual. It's not an actual audience. Nobody goes in there and watches it.
No,
they
that's
just
true.
They just needed someone to record it, and that's all it was. So they're just recording, which I don't understand because isn't Paw Patrol digital, like animated?
Well, yeah, it's animated. So, I mean, they might be doing the voice recordings there, because the soundproofing, the amphitheater.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Because you've been inside that MJ theater. Yeah, it's not relatively...
It's small, but, I mean, it's big for its size.
It's not... When I saw Paw Patrol, I thought it was going to be inside the arena, the event center, but no, they didn't even need that.
Paw Patrol.
So, I mean, it's cool. It brought in money. I mean, that just tells us that we're going to start getting more venues that are going to expect people because...
Yeah, things are changing.
After that is March Madness. March Madness is when basketball starts.
I was going to say, that's basketball.
Yeah, March Madness, it's like March 31st. It's just everything kicks in, so they have something called PAC.
Look, for some of you, March Madness is really cool because of basketball and stuff, but me being an ex-security guard, it was like, oh no, here come all the hoes and the drug dealers and the pimps and shit. Because that's all that happened when I was working on the strip. March Madness came through. It was nothing but hoes and pimps up and down the strip, slinging and dealing new shoes and basketball games. So I hope you all enjoy it. Sports.
Yeah, it's March Madness is a cash grab, but the city needs it. So they need the money in order to actually make this shit any better.
Yeah, we do. Speaking of money, Lynn, did you do your taxes?
I just got them, but it's so confusing. There's so many different things now. Like if you run through Turbo, did you do TurboTax?
Yeah,
is that what you did? Yeah. So I know before I was using TurboTax, I was going through somebody that used to file my taxes, but then I realized because I wasn't doing anything outside of my normal job at the time, I didn't need it. I was paying this girl like $100 or $200 just to kind of put everything together, and she would kind of try to cut corners like, oh, you wear a duty belt at work, did you have to pay for that your own? I was like, yeah, okay, we'll deduct that.
Right.
We'll deduct the socks you wear. Have you changed your underwear? Oh, you did? All right, we'll deduct that because you had to change your underwear. It's like she would cut corners enough to get under the radar, but after a while it's like the IRS starts to pick up on that shit.
Yeah.
So I pulled from that. I started just doing TurboTax just to kind of do the bare minimum, but then I've heard from you that TurboTax is having issues, or
I mean, so it's up in the air, especially when filing taxes. Because I mean, this year, I'm sure a lot of you heard people were getting their stimulus checks, and for some of you out there, you may have noticed that you did not get that beautiful direct deposit of cash into your bank account. Well, that means you will have to file a recovery rebate credit on your taxes. Have fun.
What the fuck is what is
that really is, it's them. What's funny is it's called a rebate. And so, normally when you hear rebate, it's like, okay, I'm buying a brand new phone. It's normally $700, but I get a $200 rebate. You go buy a car, it's $35,000 and you get a $5,000 rebate. So it's just funny because it's like, well, what did I pay for, or what am I paying for to warrant a rebate? But whatever. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Shameless plug. So, that's something a lot of us didn't know. And I don't know, I don't watch the news like on cable TV. I get a lot of my news from various internet sources. But as far as I know, it wasn't really specified until after the fact that this recovery rebate credit was even going to be a thing for most of us. Because a lot of us got checks last year, didn't file, or did file. Dead people were getting checks. Prisoners were getting checks.
Yeah, that shit was getting sent everywhere, so they didn't even know where the money was getting dropped.
Right, there was a whole lot of fraud, and then not to mention a lot of these major corporations were filing like COVID, kind of like where they were getting bailed out. Pretty much it was like a COVID tax or something like that. And so they were getting hundreds of thousands of dollars in this COVID bailout, while other little businesses are barely getting like $500-600.
Which is what the biggest thing. Yeah, that's the reason why they tried to reassess how the stimulus check would get pushed the second round we were supposed to get. Yeah. I mean, we did to an extent like a quarter of it, but all the big businesses were eating up all the funding. Yeah. So then when the smaller businesses, the mom and pop shops, or, individual companies started getting like nothing, just bits and pieces, scraps, which is bullshit. They were trying to keep the bigger companies up and running, so the smaller companies that were making profits,
they just go under.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean? And to me, Coca-Cola and Walmart and Target and whoever else don't need these bailouts.
McDonald's,
they don't need.
There were some places that they knew, like Shake Shack was one of them. Shake Shack had gotten a stimulus check. They give the money back. They're like, we don't need this.
Right.
We're doing fine. We're doing fine.
Not only are you considered essential, so you have to stay open. We do use a lot of these services, but it's like for a lot of the mom and pop shops, they're closing down. A lot of them, no matter what they do, they can't get clearance to open back up because first your people weren't allowed to eat inside, but now they're not allowed to eat outside, and
it's weird. It all depends. My worry about it is that I know Biden wants to kind of restart what we did last year, not for as long. I don't know if he's talking about doing a universal shutdown, but he wants it to be done the right way because every state does something different.
It's too late.
California does something completely different. So then we have to just
we're already infected. That's
open everything.
You
at that
do
point.
This shit when the virus is on the horizon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's already at the tail end.
We've already caught it. It's already spread. The whole world has caught it. Now that COVID is here, let's find a way to work around it. Yeah. Okay. And that's really it.
I agree. Either break it down to a bare minimum where everybody's operating at the same level. Don't make it where Obviously California is just completely fucking locked down. It's
California. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing.
They're all running
and New York's just as bad.
New York is just as bad. So
I don't understand a lot of these places. because at least, you know, we won't hover on this too long, but, you know, we all live this on a day-to-day. I don't understand where all of this, I guess, hype is coming from. Like, hey, we all definitely need to get vaccinated, duh. However, it's a lot of, oh my God, now we need 3, 4, 5 masks. And, you know, I heard, or I saw in a few stories over the internet that they're doing rectal testing for COVID in China.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking blown away because, guys,
I thought you knew that.
I promise
COVID is spread through.
It goes through your bum bum. It goes through your bum bum.
It's spread through.
You know, it's like,
you sprinkle a little on the tip and then
why
just put it in.
Why do we need all of these new various ways to test for COVID?
I'm trying really, really hard to just focus on everything in town.
That's all you can do.
Because everything it starts to build like this anxiety, insecurities, and just this worry because there's so much extra shit.
It's a bunch of fear mongering.
So what I'm hoping for,
yes,
when it comes to everything, is I know the stimulus check is supposed to bring in an extra $1,400,
$1,200 to $1,400,
$1,400, depending if you have kids and everything like that, and then
like
if taxes file through, which, like you said, whatever the fuck happened to you, why you owe more than you actually owe.
Bro,
I'm hoping that after all this, it'll turn into something better.
I am too. It's one of those things, you know, I'm using TurboTax, and I was kind of just fluffing it, trying to speed through, so I probably just hit a button wrong or whatever, but we'll get it all worked out. However, this is one of the things this is one of the times where you start to see kind of what we were being told in the past is coming to fruition, and what I mean by that is cryptocurrency and trading.
Is it worth it? Do you know?
I mean, I think it is now.
Now
that it's established.
Why do you think it's established? Because from what I've been hearing from everybody, I dabbled into it a couple months ago. I didn't really know a whole lot about it, but everybody was bringing it into a thing just because you're in this form of a pandemic, so you're starting to see what's fluctuating, what places. If you really pay attention to everything on the outside, like, oh, I noticed this business is hurting, but then this one's thriving. Amazon tripled, quadrupled their amount of
Amazon killed it.
Stocks and money. Just
any type of logistics company right now.
Places that were able to do delivery and stuff like that. Exactly. So
Uber Eats through the roof.
But I feel like the reason why everybody decided to start doing it now is because of the whole GameStop Reddit thing.
Well, yeah, but see, it's always been like that. There's always that catalyst. You know what I mean? Because at first, people have always been into stocks and trade. It's just people didn't take cryptocurrency seriously because our physical money still held weight. You know, we had a really good conversion rate when it comes to our money overseas in other countries.
You mean, U.S. currency.
Right,
okay.
You know, and then it was, the treasury, and we don't have enough gold to back up all the money we're printing, and our money's losing its value, and yada,
Which is
yada.
what's happening. I mean, what was the name of we were just talking to your brother about it. What was the name of the company that was supposed to be possibly putting banks out of business? Because everything's running into cryptocurrency now?
Yeah, I would have to look into my notes really quick. Yeah, that's on a different page. But no, my brother's talking about stuff. He's kind of giving us, you know, that extra information, whatever we can't find. Compound,
I think is what it was.
You know, and it's literally we're moving away from a decentralized monetary system. And so what that means is technically you don't ever really own anything. It's all kept up by like records and stuff like that. And that, I mean, as you can tell by my hesitation, I don't know a whole lot about cryptocurrency. I'm still getting into it, but now I see the relevance of it more so because when you lose your job, when you're getting cut to part-time or your wages are getting cut, you need another source of income.
And it's crazy. It's like not to chime in overlap, but I am seeing now as I'm getting older, I'm starting to pay attention. Me and D were just talking about this right when I came here. You know, he was talking to his girl, and me and him have talked to this multiple times. You get to a point you're fucking tired of having to grind. You're tired of having to work for a company. I preach this to a lot of people that I know all the time, just to kind of put my 2 cents in. But don't ever have one source of income. Don't have. What's happening out there? What's this street fight going on?
Our dog is losing its fucking mind right now.
I saw him attempt to take off, and when he tried to run, there was no traction. It was not Wile E. Coyote with Roadrunner, where he just runs and all the dust starts kicking up, but nothing happened. There was no speed.
Lot of barking,
trying to see a Prius take off.
Doesn't have any teeth.
So my advice to a lot of people, which is one thing that I try to do on a daily, you spend your 9 to 5 working for somebody else.
Yes.
All the money that you get, no matter how much money you get, it always ends up going towards bills. There's never enough money you can put aside for yourself in order to do things that you enjoy when you end up having to pay car insurance and rent and utilities and phone bill and cable, food, gas, electricity. All this shit is based off of you working your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So my biggest thing, which I always strive to do, I make sure I do one thing a day that is for me. No matter what. I don't give a fuck what's going on. I don't care how big it is. It could be so much as going to the park to walk around.
Right.
The gym's always been a thing for me that I enjoy. Doing the podcast is something that I enjoy. Going to see a movie, going to watch a show, something, because what happens to most of us, at least for me on my personal, is that I get stuck in a rut of I go to work, I come home, I'm so tired, I want to go to sleep, eat some food, go to sleep again, because I'll have to take a double fucking nap.
You gotta take a nap.
Get back up to go to work again. And then I think I literally spent I spent half of my day at work, but it feels like I spent all day working for nothing.
You literally got off work, prepped to go back to work.
And
went back to work.
And once you get that check, it all goes towards the bills, and all the money's gone.
Yeah.
I spent 2 weeks rinse, washing, repeating when I just could have taken maybe an hour or two out of that time, maybe not taken that nap, or not done that little side thing in order to make it to where the new thing that I wanted to do became a priority, which is learning fucking stocks, doing the podcast, going to the gym, meal prepping.
Yeah.
Learning another language, just trying to find ways to better myself, because I'm tired of working for somebody else.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
We all are.
You get tired of setting your alarm clock to somebody else's time.
It's not your own time. I don't get to wake up like, oh, I woke up because I want to.
Yeah.
This time. Not, oh, if I don't wake up and get to work, I'm going to either get fired or in trouble.
Right. And, I don't want to think about that. Like, I want to have bad days, just be like, fuck it, I'm not doing shit today. Because I know I've already put in the work to carry myself through. I don't want to be like, oh, shit, I'm sick. I don't want to get up. I can't talk. And now I got to lose a day's worth of wages because of, physical, mental exhaustion from me giving all I have to this
It was
job.
the most bullshittest thing is today I would technically be at work. I'd put in PTO a couple weeks in advance to make sure I get this day. And I'm normally good about, starting my work week on Thursday, ending on Monday, meal prepping, getting everything set for my week, because I know my days are so smashed together, because if I'm not doing the gym, I'm doing this.
Yeah, everything's
a blur. I didn't prep properly for the week, so I worked Thursday. I didn't grocery shop, so I didn't have any food, any water, anything like that. I was in a deficit all day.
Oof.
Fell asleep when I got home from work, exhausted. Woke up at midnight, knowing I had to be back at work at 6.
Yeah.
A couple hours later, I shut down. My body was like, you know what? Fuck it, call off.
Yeah.
Call off. You have PTO. You've worked hard. You work your 5 days. You never call off. You never go in late. You never ask to leave early. So let me use my PTO. I asked to use my PTO to replace the day that I called off. They're like, oh, we can't do that. Like, well, why not now? Well, just because people abuse it. So because other people are messing up on other shifts, you're punished now. Yeah. So you're changing rules. You're telling me the PTO that I earned, that I worked for, you're not going to let me use it.
Yes.
That is the most bullshit thing I've ever fucking heard. And I hate that. That lit a fire in my ass to make sure to make everything to take today, make the podcast count.
Make it count.
Find ways to invest in yourself and to do things for yourself, because at the end of the day, no matter how hard you work for another company, you're still working underneath the boss.
Yeah, you're still making
all your efforts, all the
else.
good shit that you do gets thrown out the window if they're having a bad day. Like, I know you do good, I know you earned all this, and I know you're one of our best people, but I can't give that to you just because I don't feel like it.
Right.
It's garbage. No excuse, just I don't feel like it.
If you really think about it, and I'm going to stay on this very briefly, every job, every major company is a pyramid scheme. There's the person at the top or people at the top. They hire people below them who hire people below them who keep delegating work down to us, the peons, who are doing all the clicking clacking, or like Lynn doing all the hard work, heavy lifting. And then you get sprinkles, you get peanuts from the higher ups. So after they've gotten their yachts and their $1 million houses and whatever, you get just enough money to pay rent. Just enough money for your car.
Exactly. And it's
I
saw that this year, like I said, just to kind of wrap everything up for that. I saw that this year, one of the things that COVID took the biggest hit on is it took a real hit on people that were corporate, people that made six figures, because corporate knew you could cut off 10 heads of us peons and not even make a fraction of a damage, opposed if you took the money from a fat cat and gave the person next to them their job, and be like, hey, you have double the work, but you make enough money, so we're not going to give you any more.
Exactly.
So no, hell no, I'm not. No. There's no way. I will never ever try to implement my energy and time into another place that isn't something that has to do towards.
If you guys were wondering what our end goal was, if you still have a question, we're trying to not work anymore.
Yes,
that's the goal.
We're trying to work.
And I want you to have that goal.
We're trying to work for ourselves.
Be self-employed.
Pay
your own fucking bills with the money that you made for yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't work.
We have to empower each other.
Correct.
That's how it goes. But speaking of empowering each other, Lynn, let's work out.
We're working out today.
Okay, I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So, that's copyright.
God,
Sorry.
yeah, copyright.
Moving forward.
D finally got.
I got my gym membership back.
He got his gym membership back. I've been pushing him and punching him and picking at him for all this time to finally get back in. And now
it's time
to train.
It's finally time. Lynn, what's on the docket for today's workout?
It's kind of like that thing where, I mean, to bring in my Dragon Ball Z nuts. If Goku is training with Piccolo, it's like, yeah, it's cool that I get to train with Piccolo, and we're good, and he's strong, but I'm not gonna go Super Saiyan because I don't have to, because I know I can kick his ass. And then Vegeta comes in, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta give it my all, train my hardest, because he will not let me train otherwise. D has the potential to train like a goddamn bodybuilder, so his body adapts very easily. He knows all the exactly. I'm very good. I've trained a lot of people just because I do have kinesiology and anatomy background from trying to go to school to be a physical therapist and everything. Right. I know all this stuff when it comes to personal fitness, but I'm very particular about who I train because I don't like to be here. I don't like to be told I can't do it. Right. If I train you and show you, hey, this is what you can do to change your diet, this is what you can do to get stronger, faster, to cut, to gain, whatever, and you tell me, I don't want to do this because I have an itch in my big toe. Oh, I can't do this because I forgot to feed my hamster today. If I keep hearing I can't, it takes off my momentum of, all right, well then good luck trying to do whatever the fuck you're doing. I'm not training you. But D will do everything down to a T, and because of that, the minute that I get him in there, it takes a couple weeks and he instantly shows results. Yeah. So I'm excited. He's excited. One thing I always will preach, which I will do down the road, which we've talked about just now, is focus on things to get yourself extra amounts of income so you can take care of yourself, your family, your loved ones, without having to rely on a job that could fire you in the job fat just because they're having a bad day. Yeah. But also work on your mental, work on your spiritual, work on your emotional, but work on yourself physically. If you're physically good, you're mentally good. If you're mentally good, you're emotionally good. Yeah. Emotionally good, spiritually good, everything packages together. Yes. So vicious cycle of wellness. It's a vicious cycle of wellness. I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna wrap this bitch up.
Yep, wrap it up with a nice little bow. I'm not gonna do the dick in a box joke again. That was a one-time gag, okay? But thank you guys so much for listening. We want you to always never forget this one thing. Say it with me. I'm gonna give you a minute in case you're driving, in case you're cooking. Take a minute.
Park the car.
Say it with me.
Get
5,
some snacks.
4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your head in the motherfucking clouds.
And keep your feet on the ground, always moving forward.
This is D.
And this is Lynn.
We are Project Airwaves signing out. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Oh, yeah. We also have our website up and coming, so keep an eye out for that. And if you want to be a cool kid, you want to be the first, you want to taste it, you want to be the first to have your hands on it, the first to squeeze it. All of our new content, that is. Go ahead and look. I don't know what he just did. Go ahead and check out our Patreon. We got 3 tiers. We're going to be adding more soon. They're very cheap and affordable. It supports us, which helps us support you.
Help you.
You know what I'm saying? Just pay it forward, and we'll pay it back. Yes. Okay? Other than that, you did good.
You did real good.